In the name of Allah, may Allah's peace be upon you all. Sri Lanka Muslim Diaspora Initiative, known as SLMDI United Kingdom, call for an urgent United Nations action against the Sri Lankan government to protect minority Muslims' right to life in Sri Lanka. And also, Sri Lanka Muslim Diaspora Initiative UK call for end to impunity, arrest and prosecution of those responsible for attacks, hate campaigns, racist and violent acts against the Muslim community, and destruction of Muslims' economy, which largely contributing into Sri Lankan economy. SLMDI UK urged the Sri Lanka government to act against the perpetrators, protect the rights of Muslim religious minority, and conclude the state of emergency while protecting human rights and basic freedom for all. Meanwhile, the government wished to prevent further violence. Any steps taken to address the problem, however, must meet Sri Lankan obligation under the international human rights law, including the absolute prohibition on torture, unfair trial, and arbitrary detention. SLMDI UK condemned and deeply concerned about human rights situation in Sri Lanka, the religious violence against Muslims over the last week, and SLMDI UK urged the Sri Lankan authorities to apply the full force of law to those responsible for the attack. In the history of Sri Lanka, ethnic violence gave way to institutional political violence, which became a main feature of conflict. At that stage, organized and institutionalized political parties in power forced Sri Lankan Tamil ethnic minority community to end up with ethnic cleansing in Sri Lanka. This past history dangerously seems to be repeating itself again to Sri Lankan Muslim minority community. In this post-war era, waves of anti-minority sentiment have risen and fallen, manifesting themselves as violent attack on Muslims and Christians in 2014. The recent attack in Aludgama, Kandy and Digana was similar. These events are part of wider series of targeted attacks against Muslims since the end of the war in 2009, which have escalated with the emergence of very small percentage of Buddhist nationalist movement in 2012. The government of Sri Lanka have the significant power to stop the attacks and action against the perpetrators. But it is shame the government authorities standing behind the perpetrators of whom accountable for their actions. The government PMD statement confirmed Sri Lankan President recent delegation to Japan, insisting that the only Buddhist monk in the delegation was Ulapane Sumanagala. All the Sri Lankans well known who is Buddhist monk Ulapane Sumanagala. He is the close associate of the Podubala Sena Jnanasara, having helped him obtain bail and addressing the media immediately afterward. The alleged presence of Jnanasara in the president delegation gave credence to the speculation that section of government were involved in the Muslims' violence in Tanzania, Digana and elsewhere in the Kandy district confirms the Sri Lankans' war has ended, but the issues that triggered it have not. Mr. President Maithripala Sirisena came into power on the back of huge support of Tamil Tamils, Muslims and Christians who were feeling increasingly marginalized under Mr. Rajapaksa's government. Minorities have also played a huge role in Sri Lankan's politics through the development of ethnocentric parties. But most of the Sri Lankan minorities now feel exasperated and disappointed with the current government's lack of clear stance and its inability to protect them. Because the current administration is fractured and considerably weakened, because the governing coalition lost the local election last month. Although the government has made some minor progress in addressing religion intolerance, but the law enforcement authority have been seen to downplay the severity of attack against religion minority, continue to remain partial to Buddhist groups and are hesitant to arrest and take action against Buddhist monks who is highly condemning the doctrine of the real Buddhism, some of whom are reportedly at the forefront of these recent incidents. There were mistakes on the part of